Hello again. Good day. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Namaste. Hope everyone's doing well on this beautiful Wednesday evening. Or at least it's beautiful here from a perspective that's working on these ends. Hope everyone is doing well as we are ending another, it's easy to say another year. I'm going to say we are coming to the conclusion of another 12 months. So I tweeted not too long ago at McBride, all right? Something to the nature of not so much about life being short, but more so temporary. Because who knows necessarily how many years each of us will have for the trajectory, according to our individual lifestyles. But one thing that's guaranteed, if not necessarily able to say the particular length, what we do know is that what we have is temporary. Right? That's something that we can gather and not necessarily debate, though technology, science, and all those things considered, to prolong what we're naturally given, on the daily. Sure, some of those things are in the works. You got cloning and all this other stuff. But for the most part, what we're given is temporary. So we just went through another 12 months. And it's interesting because we watched ourselves just complete. I don't know how many people are talking about this, but this is unscripted. Those last 12 months was also perhaps maybe our first full year of COVID not being perhaps in the forefront of the news, and things sort of getting back to a sense of normalcy, or there at least being maybe a new standard in most places, and that being, maybe a little bit more gotten used to and not so much of a point of immediate conversation. But if you're watching this, you've gone through the year and faced a few things. May have faced realization of oneself, especially in conjunction with others who may have been around at one time and perhaps are no longer there. These are 12 months we're talking about, and even the time leading up until 2023 was also preparation. I mean, no one has ever lived 2023 before. So here we are at the end of a year that only we can attest to, those of us who have made it through another year by the grace of the Most High. And looking back, as I said, we are able to gather a little bit more of our own direction And sometimes that helps us to take some time, not necessarily to dwell on the past, but to even go back or return to what we've already experienced, overcome, gotten over. But a lot of times we can also find some strength, some solace, some peace, um, maybe even a bit of wisdom when, just getting honest about the difference in, where we were when we entered a certain fraction of the year, and then where we are. It's called self-assessment, and then it also strengthens our sense of self-awareness. The title of this video is Learning to Trust Yourself. And so that's what's happening at this point. If you clicked on this video, you're learning to trust your instincts, how you move, how you think, how you speak, how you do you in any environment. Becoming a master at the person you've been working on and the direction you're headed, where you want to be. So many people at this juncture in their pursuit of happiness, again, having gone through the pandemic and being restricted, and now having a sense of maybe not so much, having to hurriedly get things done, but learning to trust yourself involves wanting to get things done. If not setting a goal for a particular time, then it's having a vision for accomplishing particular achievements over a certain amount of time. Why do we sometimes lack a sense of trust in ourselves? Well, I've learned that sometimes those things come from our childhood. If we may have had parents who either showed a lack of trust, that may be one thing, could be a lack of trust. However, here's one thing I say that kind of flies under the radar, doesn't get talked about so much, but I'll toss it in here because some people may wonder why, inside of themselves, their brain, they can see themselves doing some things, but then when it comes to it in physical reality, there's some inhibition, some hesitation, some timidity. And so in our childhood, it may not always be that we weren't trusted that translates into our adulthood, into us not trusting ourselves. But a lack of trust in ourselves could also be the result of having adults who were responsible for loving us, caring for us, not just raising us and making sure we had food on our back and clothes on our feet, clothes on our back and shoes on our feet, food to eat, but many of you all also came with bucket load of talents, gifts, skills that you learned over time that something inside of you encouraged or inspired you to work on, that perhaps even unbeknownst to you, you became, you know, a doper version of yourself by way of learning certain skills. And many of you eventually, although you may have accomplished certain things, still have had to learn to trust yourself in other areas because of a lack of empowerment. So it may not have necessarily been a lack of trust, as in, you know, someone believing in you. You could have actually had someone or a group of people who believed in you and knew what you could accomplish. But, you know, oftentimes, especially in your childhood, you're looking for, it's like that baby who is crawling and beginning to walk. They oftentimes look back at the adult who is cheering them on and, you know, prompting them to continue even if they fall. That child, before crying, may look up to look for the reaction of the adult, and if the adult is giving them a encouraging, empowering vibration with a smile on their face and tell them to go, that child oftentimes is going to get right back up and keep trying to move forward. When does that stop? You know, when is that? When do we lose that sense of childlike nature and sense of community, where we understand that the benefits of empowering someone in an area that they may be gifted or talented or skillful in, we understand that the benefits of that is oftentimes beneficial for many others than that one person who may hold a skill, talent, or gift. But if you experienced, you know, at length being around one, two, three, you know, small group, or perhaps a organization, family, group of friends who intentionally or unknowingly, purposefully kept love from you, encouraging sentiments or empowering energy, you know, with the intention of you losing a sense of yourself, then it would no doubt then translate to someone who perhaps is at any point in their adolescence, or, you know, having transitioned into their adulthood with a sense of doubt, you know, a lack of faith, regardless of what anyone's saying, you know, about the power of faith or belief. You know, oftentimes, if those who may have been responsible for loving us were intentional about, you know, refraining from giving that energy to make sure that behind the scenes you have what you need to move forward in the areas that you were strongest at, this could result in, you know, a lack of trust in oneself, and prompting, or, you know, provoking one to assess if where they are, if that's where they want to be. And then if there's a level of, you know, I like to progress, you know, past here, or I'd like to see what's on the other side of fear, then that's where courage comes in. You know, moving forward, even in the face of defeat, even in the face of probable death, even. You know, it's courage says, you know what? we're going to move forward anyway, because there's something inside that can see the other side. And so, in conclusion, this video is to encourage you to, as you move forward in the new year, 2024 and beyond, feel free to empower yourself. See yourself operating as the highest, most potent, best version of you. Trusting your vision, your sense of determination to accomplish whatever your dreams are saying is possible for you. And be encouraged to sit the worry down and see what life looks like without it. You know, what does it do for us anyway? But increase the stress and distracts us from acknowledging that we're blessed. I want to drop this video because the commitment is to hit you all with some insights and some thoughts every Wednesday. So we'll see how that works out. We'll do our best to touch base back here at A Midwest Mindset once again. Also, just a shameless plug, I also have music on this page as well. Thank you to you all who are checking out the lyric videos, dropping some shorts of 60-second freestyles or portions or snippets of poetry that I've done at some places around town. This Friday coming up, December 29th, 2003, just before we get out of here, I'm dropping the follow-up to the project I dropped last year, 2022, Detour Head, the approximate mixtape. You guys can pre-order or pre-save Detour Head 2, the awesome mixtape. That'll be 10 original songs written by yours truly, produced by my group Diamond Production Group, and it'll be 10 original songs, about 40 minutes. So feel free, if you come back through anytime Friday or afterward, check out the music. Feel free to leave a comment, let me know what you think. You have any questions or any comments or anything you'd like to suggest that I cover on A Midwest Mindset here, let me know. I do my best to read the comments and respond whenever appropriate. So again, thank you all for coming through, taking some time, watching with me, A Midwest Mindset, and spending some time here. You know, it could have been anywhere else in the world, right? Consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell so that you can be alerted when I drop more content. Much love. Best of blessings in 2024 and beyond. Stay strong. Continue courageously. Until next time.